2 weeks ago, I knew as much about sprinkler systems as I did about Mandarin Chinese. Like, I know it exists. I know that somebody understands it. I know that I don't really want to be involved. I know how to turn on a faucet. I know how to hook up a hose. I know how to set a timer for a sprinkler system. But then I had a zone go out. Quit working. No more water. So 40 YouTube videos later, and the universe decides I need to understand water control valves and diaphragm adjustments and manifold capacities. I mean, what psychopath invented a multimeter? Who needs that many settings? I wasn't looking for like a degree in electrical engineering. I just wanted the grass to be wet. Seriously, that's it. So naturally, this was supposed to be a 5-minute fix. So I leave the house on the way down to the irrigation store. Did I take a picture of the valve? No. Did I bring the model number with me? No. Did I bring the valve with me? Absolutely not. Because confidence is priceless and stupidity is expensive. So I walk into the irrigation store and there's this 21-year-old kid helping me. He knows way more than I do. There's probably 17 different valve controls. There's at least, 15 adapters, and I would have to say 20 different solenoids. So the kid's like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't know, just give me all the adapters because I think it's a solenoid. And he said, you want all of them? And then he laughed, and then I laughed, and I said, no, seriously, give me all the adapters. So this son of a bitch right here. So I get home from the store. Now I've only got 14 adapters. I can't find the one that I actually need because the one that went missing is the one that I need. Tear apart my truck twice. I can't find it anywhere. Grudgingly get back in the truck, head down to the store again to go see this 21-year-old kid that knows way more than I do. Have to buy another adapter, return the other 14, get back in my truck, and there it is on the floorboard. In the truck that I checked twice. And I don't have to explain this because you know how the universe works. So at this point, I'm kind of like, fine, whatever, I'll figure it out. I have 2 adapters now. So I get home, I'm thinking, God, I hope this is just the solenoid. It wasn't the solenoid. It was a little rubber flapper thing inside of the valve. I think smarter people call it the diaphragm. Let me just state, I don't want to know about valve control. I don't want to know about diaphragm water pressure. I don't want to know about manifold adjustments. I don't want to know any of this. I just want amnesia. I'm in a totally new irrigation supply store, and I'm surrounded by people that actually know what they're doing. And I'm standing there trying to pretend like I know what I'm doing. But this other 21-year-old who actually knows a great deal about irrigation systems is taking a look at my valve, and he says, wow, that's old. He's looking at this thing like it's the prehistoric equivalent of a dinosaur bone, but for sprinkler systems. I'm trying not to take it personally. I realize he's just talking about a valve. But I'm pretty sure that Derek and this valve were probably conceived at the same time. At this point, I'm not fixing irrigation. I'm defending my dignity. That's what's happening right now. I finally get the new valve put in. The diaphragm's adjusted. The manifold's all dialed in. I don't know. Maybe that's technical. And then I finally get the zone going. And this thing comes on and it's beautiful. I don't even have to replace any sprinkler heads. I feel like the part of Castaway, except with water, not fire.
Look what I have created! I have made...
The sprinkler system work. Water. That's how accomplished I was. I was so proud of myself. So I walk in, just chest out, like I just restored power to the entire city. I'm showcasing this to my wife. The sprinkler system's on. It looks beautiful. And she says, wait, didn't the yard guy just fix that like 2 weeks ago? Wait, what? So I immediately said, no, that was a different zone because I need some sort of self-preservation at this point. Now, this repair didn't happen a year ago. It didn't happen 6 months ago. It happened 2 weeks ago. As a matter of fact, I remember standing over his shoulder while he's laying there on the ground working on the zone, and I think I had my hands on my hips, and I was saying some stupid shit like, looks like we got it all dialed in now. He did fix it. Or attempted to fix it. I wrote this man a check, which means that as soon as that check cleared my account, my brain said, excellent, this information no longer concerns us, and deleted it from memory, like gone. So I paid somebody $200 to avoid having to learn this. And then I forgot that I paid somebody $200 to avoid learning this, and then spent my entire Saturday doing the exact job I was trying to avoid that I had already outsourced. And now I have opinions about valve flow control and diaphragm adjustments. I can't make this shit up. So this is where I had to accept this life. I walk into the garage later that night and I find a little cardboard box and the blue tape and my Sharpie, and I write on it, good solenoids. I realize that I am now that guy. I now have a box in my garage that is labeled good solenoids. So yes, I've accepted the reality of the situation. I've accepted this life. I am one YouTube video away from saying, nah, the older diaphragms were better. Here's the best part though. One day when I'm long gone, my kids are going to be cleaning out that garage and they're going to find a little box that says good solenoids in it. And inside of that box is going to be a note and it's going to say, you know what, you're going to need an adapter, Dad. So now I've got a perfectly good working sprinkler system, I've got an empty wallet, and I've got a ton of resentment for this guy named me. I hired an expert because I didn't want to become an expert. I then forgot that I hired an expert and had to end up wasting an entire Saturday becoming the expert I never wanted to be, which feels like a very expensive way to end up right where I started. And sitting here, I realize I can't be the only person that's ever thought I was making a totally logical decision that turned out to be completely dumb. Maybe it was a DIY project, or maybe it was a purchase, but somehow or another you convinced yourself that you were a genius and then all of a sudden reality showed up. So not to sound totally YouTube cliche, but leave it down in the comments. Let me hear your imperfect, perfect story, because we're not perfect. And that's what this tribe is about. I mean, it's not about subscribing, it's about being real. And I'm having a blast doing it because let me tell you, I am my own best friend and nobody makes me laugh like I do. I want to hear your reality. And if it's awesome enough, if it's a banger, I'm going to showcase it. I have to showcase it. It's what I have to do. I can't not.